Welcome to today's episode of the Deep Dive Credit Podcast, presented by Elite Credit Solutions. We are your trusted partner in affordable credit repair, proudly based in Tampa, Florida, and dedicated to serving clients across the entire United States. Join us as we explore the intricacies of credit management, share expert insights, and empower you with the knowledge you need to achieve your financial goals. Get ready for an enlightening journey into the world of credit. Let's dive in.
To our deep dive into smishing.
Smishing.
Yeah. You know those sneaky little scams that slide right into our text messages, trying to trick us into giving up all our personal information.
Right.
And I'm sure you've seen those messages that say you've won a prize or you need to verify your bank account.
Oh, yeah. All the time.
But this isn't just a minor annoyance, you know.
Oh, definitely not.
IBM reports that a whopping 75% of organizations faced smishing attacks just last year in 2023.
That many.
Yeah.
It's scary how common it's become.
And to make it even more real, think about this.
Okay.
In just 1 month.
Just one.
Yeah, November 2024, over 19.2 billion spam texts were sent.
That is mind-boggling.
It really is, and that's why this deep dive is so important.
It's incredible, and I think it highlights how vulnerable we all are.
Absolutely. And you know, there's something about text that just makes us let our guard down more than emails.
Oh, I agree.
Bank of America found that people respond to 45% of the texts they receive.
Wow.
Compared to only 6% of emails.
That makes sense, though.
Yeah.
You know, you see a text and you just assume it's from someone you know.
Right. It feels more personal.
Yeah, exactly.
So today we're going to explore how these scams actually work.
Okay.
We'll look at some of the most common tactics they use, like bank impersonation.
Oh, yeah, the classic.
And those, so tempting fake giveaways.
I know, those get me every time.
And most importantly, we'll give you the knowledge to protect yourself.
Yes, knowledge is power.
So let's start with understanding how smishing operates.
Okay.
It's like this blend of technical tricks and psychological manipulation.
A dangerous combination.
Right, and the proof point research you shared, it details the whole process from start to finish, like how these attackers choose their targets to how they actually use that stolen information.
It's fascinating and terrifying at the same time.
It is. So it's not just random texts they're sending out.
Not necessarily.
There's like a real strategy behind it.
Yeah, there is.
Sometimes they target people randomly, but often they use information from data breaches or even public online tools to find out basic details about you.
Like what kind of detail?
Like your name and location.
Really?
Yeah.
So they actually do their research to make these messages seem more believable?
Exactly. They want you to think this message is just for you.
Oh, that's sneaky.
It is. It tricks your brain into letting its guard down.
Yeah, I can see how that works.
And then they craft the message itself, and they often design it to trigger a strong emotion.
Makes sense.
So I'm guessing they're aiming for fear or panic, like the classic "your account's been compromised" text.
Yep, that's a common one.
But are there other emotions they try to exploit?
Oh, for sure. Think about those. You've won a free iPhone messages.
I've definitely fallen for those before.
Me too. They tap into that excitement and that desire for something for nothing.
It's hard to resist.
It is.
So what happens after they've crafted the message? How do they actually send it?
Well, they might use spoofing techniques to disguise their number. Yeah, so it can even look like it's coming from a legitimate organization like your bank.
Oh, wow. That's scary.
It is. And that brings us to the interaction the moment they get you to take the bait.
Which is where those sneaky links come into play, right?
Exactly. And clicking that link can lead to all sorts of trouble.
Like what?
It might take you to a fake website that's designed to steal your login details.
Ooh.
Or it could even download malware onto your phone.
Malware.
Yeah, which gives them access to all kinds of sensitive data.
That's terrifying.
It is. It's scary how easy it is to be tricked, especially on our phones.
Yeah, it's not like you can hover over a link on a smartphone to see if it's legitimate.
Exactly. They exploit the limitations of our smartphones.
Right. It's harder to verify information on a smaller screen.
Yeah, and that makes us more vulnerable.
So they're using this combination of believable details, emotional triggers, and our own trust in text messages.
All of that comes together.
To set the trap.
To trap you.
And the variety of scams they use is truly remarkable.
Oh, it is.
The Federal Trade Commission and IBM both report that bank impersonation scams are the most prevalent.
Really?
Yeah.
That makes sense, I guess.
Yeah. Why are these bank impersonation scams so effective?
I think it's because they prey on our deepest fear, losing our hard-earned money.
Oh, yeah.
They use official-sounding language logos, even your bank's name.
Right.
Your source from First Bank and Trust Company really highlights how convincing these messages can be.
I can see how someone could easily panic and fall for it, especially if they're already worried about their finances.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's like a digital punch to the gut.
It is. They create that sense of urgency, pushing you to act quickly without thinking.
Don't let them think, just act.
Exactly. But bank impersonation is just one tactic.
Right?
Another common one is the fake prize or giveaway scam.
Oh, those are so tempting.
I know everyone loves the idea of getting something for free,
Of course.
especially around the holidays.
Yeah, when everyone's hoping for a little extra cheer.
Yeah.
It makes sense that those would be effective then.
Oh, yeah. They play on that desire for something for nothing.
Mm.
You may get a text saying you've won a gift card, a new phone, even a cash prize.
Oh, yeah, a cash prize.
And to make it even more enticing, they often mention well-known brands like Amazon.
So they're playing on our emotions and desires.
Mm-hmm. Trying to get us to click without thinking.
But is it always about like negative emotions like fear?
Whoa.
Or exploiting that desire for free stuff?
Not necessarily. Some scams prey on our anticipation,
Oh, okay.
especially around the holidays. Think about those delivery notification scams.
Those are the worst.
They claim there's an issue with your package or that you need to pay a fee.
Oh, yeah, those drive me crazy.
I know.
I always have a mini heart attack before I remember I haven't ordered anything.
Right.
It's like they know exactly when to strike when we're eagerly awaiting a package.
You're exactly right.
Hmm.
They leverage our expectations and that anticipation to create a sense of urgency.
So we click without thinking.
Mm-hmm. So we've seen how they tap into fear with bank impersonation,
Mm-hmm.
entice us with fake prizes,
Yep.
and even exploit our anticipation with delivery notifications.
It's a whole range of emotions.
But their bag of tricks goes even deeper.
I'm almost afraid to ask.
Ah.
But what other kinds of scams should we be watching out for?
Well, another common tactic is the tech support scam. They send a text claiming there's a problem with your phone or your computer.
Oh, no.
Yeah, maybe a virus or a software issue.
So they're playing on those moments when our technology isn't working and we're feeling frustrated.
Exactly.
Or a little helpless.
They offer a solution, of course.
Okay.
They'll include a link to fix the problem or a number to call for tech support.
But that support is anything but.
You got it.
I bet that number leads to like a premium rate line,
Oh, yeah,
racking up huge charges on your phone bill.
definitely. Or even worse,
Mm-hmm.
they might try to get remote access to your device,
Oh, no.
essentially handing them the keys to all your data.
That's a nightmare.
It is, and it's not just our devices they target.
Oh, really?
They also exploit those times when we're feeling stressed or vulnerable,
Okay.
like during tax season.
You mean those tax scams where they pretend to be the IRS?
Mm-hmm. I've heard some horror stories about those.
I do.
They can be truly frightening.
Yeah.
They might claim you owe money or that there's a problem with your tax return,
Oh, God.
even threatening legal action
Sure.
if you don't pay up immediately.
Oh, that's plain dirty.
It is. It's like they're weaponizing our fear of the IRS.
They are. And then there are the scams that seem almost harmless at first.
Oh, like what?
Like those confirmation scams.
Oh, right.
Where they send a text asking you to confirm an order
Okay.
or an appointment or an invoice.
Those don't sound too bad.
Right.
What's the catch?
Well, it's all about getting you to engage.
Ah, I see.
By replying, even with a simple yes or no, you're confirming that your number is active.
Right.
Which makes you a prime target for future attacks.
Okay.
Plus, they might even ask for personal details to verify the transaction,
Oh, serene.
slowly chipping away at your defenses.
So even those seemingly harmless messages can be a way for them to gather information and set the stage for more elaborate scams down the line.
It's like they're building a profile on you.
Exactly. And finally, we have customer support scams.
Customer support.
Yeah, which expand beyond just banks.
Okay.
They might impersonate any trusted brand.
So like my mobile provider.
Yes, or a social media platform, even a favorite online retailer.
So basically, if there's a brand we trust, they'll try to exploit it.
It's all about creating that sense of familiarity and legitimacy to make us let our guard down. You might get a text saying there's an issue with your account or a security breach,
Oh, no.
urging you to take immediate action.
It sounds like the common thread running through all of these scams is that sense of urgency,
Yeah,
that pressure to act quickly without thinking.
you've nailed it.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important to stay calm, be skeptical, and always double check before you click any link or share any information via text.
That's a great point. But with all these scams out there and new ones popping up all the time, it can feel overwhelming.
I know.
Are there any tools or strategies we can use to protect ourselves?
Absolutely. There are both technological solutions and behavioral strategies we can implement to make ourselves less vulnerable to these attacks.
Okay, good.
Let's start with the tech side of things.
Okay.
Both Android and iOS have built-in security features that can be incredibly helpful.
So, like, my phone has a spam filter for my messaging app. Does that actually work against smishing attempts?
It can, especially if you keep your phone's software updated.
Okay.
Those updates often include security patches that can protect you against the latest threats.
So it's not just about having the latest features.
Right.
It's also about keeping those security features up to date.
Precisely. And beyond those basic spam filters, many smartphones and carriers offer more advanced SMS filtering options.
So it's like a supercharged spam filter for my text messages.
That's a great way to put it. They use algorithms and databases of known scam numbers to block or flag suspicious messages before they even reach you.
So it's like having a digital bouncer for my text messages.
Exactly, weeding out the troublemakers before they can even get in the door.
I like that. And then there's multi-factor authentication, or MFA.
MFA, yeah.
I know you know this, but I'm familiar with that.
Okay.
It's that extra step where they send you a code to your phone or email to verify it's really you when you're logging into an account.
Right, that extra layer of security is crucial.
Because even if a smisher manages to steal your username and password through a phishing attack, they still can't access your account without that verification code.
Exactly.
So MFA really does make a difference even against these clever smishers.
It does. It's like having a double lock on your digital front door.
Okay, I like that analogy.
And for those who want even more protection, there are also dedicated anti-phishing apps you can download.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they analyze links, messages, even apps to detect potential threats.
Wow, it sounds like we have a whole arsenal of tech tools to fight back.
We do.
But I have a feeling technology alone isn't enough.
You're absolutely right. You can have the most sophisticated security system in the world, but if you open the door to every stranger who knocks, you're still at risk.
That's a good point.
That's where behavioral strategies come in.
So we need to develop some smart habits to complement those tech tools.
Exactly.
What are some of the most effective behavioral strategies?
The golden rule, the one you should tattoo on your brain, is this: pause before acting.
Pause before acting.
Smishers thrive on that knee-jerk reaction.
Mm-hmm.
They want you to panic and click without thinking.
So it's all about resisting that urge to react immediately?
Exactly.
Easier said than done when you see a message about your bank account being compromised.
I know, but that moment of pause can make all the difference.
Okay.
Take a breath and ask yourself some key questions.
Okay, what kind of questions?
Is this message expected? Does it sound too good to be true? Does the sender's number look legitimate?
It's like taking a step back to assess the situation.
Exactly.
Before diving in head first.
And if you have even the slightest doubt,
yeah.
don't engage at all.
Okay.
Just delete the message.
Delete it. Got it. Hey, what about those links? We talked about how they're often a trap.
Never click on a link in a text message if you're not 100% sure of the sender and the context.
Okay.
It's always safer to type the URL directly into your browser.
So even if it looks like a familiar website,
Yes.
like my bank or a shopping site, I shouldn't click the link in the text.
That's right. And if the message asks you to call a number,
Yeah.
double check that it's a legitimate number for that organization.
Or where would I check that?
You can usually find it on their official website.
Oh, good point.
The same goes for email addresses.
So basically verify everything independently.
Yes.
Don't just take their word for it.
Exactly. And this is a big one. Legitimate companies will never ask you for sensitive information like your social security number, passwords, or credit card details via text message. If you get a message asking for that kind of information,
Yeah.
it's a scam no matter how convincing it might seem.
It's almost like a gut check. If something feels off, it probably is.
Trust your instincts.
Yeah.
And if you do receive a suspicious message,
Okay.
don't just ignore it, report it.
Report it to whom?
Most mobile carriers have specific numbers you can forward suspicious texts to,
Okay.
and they can investigate and potentially block the sender.
Oh, that's good.
You can also report smishing attempts to the Federal Communications Commission, or FCC.
So we can actually fight back against these scammers.
Yes.
And help protect others from falling victim to the same tricks.
Exactly. It's a community effort.
I like that.
By being aware of the tactics, using our tech tools, and practicing those behavioral strategies, we make ourselves much harder targets.
So it sounds like we're building this multi-layered defense system.
Yes.
Combining technology with a healthy dose of skepticism and vigilance.
What's fascinating here is that while technology plays a crucial role, it's not the ultimate solution we need to develop something even more powerful.
Mental filters?
Mental filters, what do you mean by that?
Think of it like this. You can have the best antivirus software in the world, But if you click on every suspicious link, it's useless.
Yeah.
We need to train our minds to be more discerning,
Yeah.
to resist those psychological tricks that make us act impulsively.
So it's about strengthening our critical thinking skill,
Uh-huh.
becoming more aware of the psychology behind these scams.
Exactly. It's about questioning everything, the sender, the message, the context, the urgency.
Okay.
Ask yourself, why are they contacting me this way? What are they trying to get me to do?
Right.
Does this make sense?
It's almost like developing a healthy sense of paranoia.
And don't be afraid to be wrong.
Okay.
It's better to be overly cautious than to fall victim to a scam.
That's true.
If something seems even slightly off, trust your gut and verify it independently.
Trust your gut, verify independently. Those are words to live by in this digital age.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, okay.
Yeah. Smishing is just one small part of a much larger problem. The growing sophistication of social engineering tactics.
Social engineering, can you explain that a bit further?
Social engineering is all about manipulating people into taking actions that benefit the attacker.
Okay.
It's not about hacking into systems.
Oh.
It's about hacking into our minds.
So it's not just about exploiting technical vulnerabilities.
Right.
It's about exploiting human vulnerabilities.
Hey.
That makes it seem even more insidious.
It does, and these tactics are used everywhere, not just in smishing.
Oh, really?
You'll find them in phishing emails, social media scams, even in face-to-face interactions.
So it's really about developing this mindset of awareness,
Mm-hmm.
skepticism, and vigilance, no matter where we encounter these attempts at manipulation.
You're absolutely right. The more we talk about these issues, the more we share our experiences and knowledge, the better equipped we'll all be to navigate this digital world safely.
That's a great point. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to protecting ourselves from these evolving threats.
For sure.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of smishing, let's recap some key takeaways.
Okay.
Smishing is a serious and growing threat, using text messages to trick people into revealing personal information or downloading malware.
It is.
But remember, you are not powerless. We have technological tools at our disposal, like built-in phone security features, SMS filtering, multi-factor authentication, and anti-phishing apps.
We do.
But technology alone isn't enough.
Right.
We also need to develop those mental filters, that healthy skepticism and vigilance that helps us resist manipulation.
Exactly.
Be wary of unexpected messages, verify sources independently, and never share sensitive information via text.
Great advice.
And keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
Sharing knowledge and experiences is one of the best ways to stay ahead of these evolving scams.
Absolutely.
So here's a final thought for you to consider. We can't rely on technology alone to protect us from these increasingly sophisticated social engineering tactics. So how can we collectively empower people to become more resilient, more aware, and more discerning in this digital age?
That's the question.
It's a question worth pondering, and we encourage you to continue exploring this topic. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Stay safe, stay informed, and stay vigilant out there.
Up another insightful episode of the Deep Dive Credit Podcast, brought to you by Elite Credit Solutions, your go-to resource for affordable credit repair across the United States. We appreciate you joining us today, and we hope you found the information valuable and empowering. If you're ready to take control of your financial future, don't hesitate to reach out to us at 813-317-6776. Additionally, don't forget to like today's podcast, share with your friends on social media, follow us, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay in tune with future updates. Thank you for listening. And until next time, keep striving for excellence in your credit journey.